day, everybody. Good day. It's here. It's here. I was just sending a post to Facebook telling everybody, come on now, the show is starting. The show is starting. Come on. Come on. Okay. 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 It's just some little technical glitches. You know how it is. You know how it is. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So, I think we need a little breath. Let's take a little breath. And here we are. And here we are. I am Rev Melissa, y'all, and this is Living Life in Joy. Living Life in Joy. I am so excited about this new opportunity to spread joy, to spread joy. Oh, it's so good. It is so good. So many of you may be familiar with me from my morning sips with Rev Melissa that I do Monday through Fridays. It's streamed on the New Thought Media Network. And this is a new show. This is a new show. So it's not like morning sip. It's a little different. It's a little different. It's another vehicle that I want to use to get the joy news out, to get the joy news out. So if you don't know me, if you're new to Rev Melissa, I am a ordained interfaith minister. I'm a licensed religious science practitioner. I'm a purpose coach, and that triune is my ministry of joy, where I support people in living life in joy, connected to their yes. And so this is another way that I get personally to connect to my yes, to connect my yes to all of you. And hopefully, prayerfully, my desire, my heart's desire is that your yes, whatever that yes may be, your yes will just start to radiate more and more and more in the world. Because we need more. We need more joy in the world, and we need more yeses in the world. So we need some yes people. And I know you all who are watching me now, and those of you who will watch the replay, I know that you are the yes, joy, vibration people. And we're about that life, and that life is living life in joy. Living life in joy. So I just want to share a little bit about the show, right? So what is this show about? This show is about spreading joy, getting out more joy news. Yes? So I'm not one to really watch the regular news stations. I might every now and then where there's some breaking news like it was last week. But other than that, I don't really do, regular news because to me, it's just constantly negative news, right? So there are so many joy stories across the land that we don't get to hear about, see. Some of them go viral, some of them don't, right? So I want to use this platform to share more joy in the world and to also help us to see the spiritual perspective when things seemingly go wrong, right? When things seemingly go wrong, we can reframe it to look for the good, to look for the good because the good is there, right? The good is there. So that's my intention for living life in joy. That's my intention. So one of the things that I was really excited about when I was prepping for the show was all of the opportunities that I get to experience with you and you with me of people's joy expressions in the world. So the show format is going to include guests. So every week there will be a guest who's going to share their perspective about joy and how joy shows up in their life and what they do to cultivate the joy in their life or whatever their energy is, right? So mine is joy. Mine is joy, but other folks could be something else. It could be love, it could be abundance, it could be peace. So, whatever that living life is for you, whatever you are living your life in, I want to know about it. I want to know about it because we got to spread the news. We got to spread the news far and wide so that we all understand that there is an undercurrent of joy. There's an undercurrent of joy. And guess what? We get to swim in that current. We get to swim in that current. So that's the invitation. That is the invitation. So one person that I discover, one of the people, because there's many, one of the people that I discover who is swimming in the current of joy is, I'm going to call him a young man, although he's 100 years old. His name is Tom Moore, and he is Sir Captain Tom Moore, and you'll find out why in a moment. He lives in Britain. He's 100 years old, and he was suffering from cancer. And the people in the hospital took supreme care of him. And so, to share his gratitude with them, he decided that he was going to do a fundraiser to raise about £1,000 to give to the National Health Service Works. So that was his goal, right? £1,000. He's going to do that by walking around his garden. He was just going to take laps around his garden, 100 laps, y'all, around his garden, right? To correlate, hopefully, with his 100th birthday. Yes? So that was his vision. That was his vision. A vision of giving back, a vision of expressing gratitude. So we're going to key that up, and I'm just going to show you a little clip of him as he crosses, let's say, the finish line with his walker. With his walker. Here he is, Tom Moore. If he's not living life in joy, there he is.
There he is. Well done. Absolutely amazing, amazing achievement. Tom, how do you feel this morning?
And then I've got so well good by the right to completed. So yeah, think absolutely fine. I hope you're all feeling fine too.
Well, we are feeling much more fine. I think we've all been inspired. The whole country, it seems like the whole world has been inspired by your achievement.
Oh, thank you.
Really great to see you this morning.
Yes.
So after he accomplished that goal, he said he felt fine. He felt fine, and he is an inspiration. So I said that he had a goal of raising £1,000, right? He met that goal within 24 hours. He met that goal within 24 hours. So by the time he was finished with this, by the time he concluded with his 100 lap, which we just saw on that clip, he had raised over $40 million, y'all. $40 million. 1.5 million people contributed to his vision of giving back, right? He was knighted by Queen Elizabeth. He was recognized as a point of light, and he has inspired others to do the same thing, to fundraise in gratitude, to give back. And that inspiration has struck people from the age of 5 to 103. Now, if that ain't some joy, I don't know what is. So here he is facing cancer, fighting cancer. He could have been in the dumps, but no, he wasn't. He wasn't. He saw this as an opportunity to give back and to be grateful for life and life more abundantly. Yes? So he is such an inspiration. When my friend Sekou told me about him, I was like, oh, If that is the perfect example of living life in joy. So that's the type of stories we need to hear about. The fact that I didn't know about that story until my friend mentioned it to me, come on now. So now some of you haven't heard that story. So now you can spread that joy news. And now you can see what's possible when we set a clear vision for what it is that we want to be in the world. So I'm sure that Sir Tom Moore's quality of God, I'm sure is gratitude. And so I am gratitude. I'm sure that is part of his vision for himself. Yes, yes. So I'm excited about other joyful stories that I get to share, other opportunities to inspire people through other people's good works. Yes, yes. All right. So another element of the show is going to be what I call 3 joy questions. So those of you who know me know I have an affinity for the number 3. I had a whole 3-letter word series in Morning Sip, which was just fun. And of course, one of the 3-letter words was yes, of course. So each guest, so I'm giving you a heads up because you might be a guest right here on Living Life in Joy. We'll answer these 3 joy questions. They're going to be rapid questions, right? So one is, and I'm going to answer them now. So I'm making believe I'm the guest. What does joy look like for you? So what does joy look like for me, y'all? So I am blessed. I am blessed with a wonderful husband, wonderful twin daughters. And what joy looks like for me is every time I come through my front door, every time I come home, I am greeted by hugs and kisses every single time. And I am not exaggerating. I walk into arms of love. And that's what joy looks like for me. So if someone was to capture that in a picture, that would be my definition of joy. What do you do that brings you joy? So you might be surprised to learn this, but I do view myself as an introvert. And an introvert in the sense of what energizes me is spending time with myself. It's spending time with myself. So I could hang out with my girlfriends. Like we could go away for a girls' weekend and I'm good. And then at some point I'm like, okay, that's enough of the togetherness. I need a moment. I need a moment to just be with myself. So what do I do that brings me joy? What I do that brings me joy is really taking time to be introspective, taking time to just be with myself. And I'll read, I'll do some writing, I'll just be, whatever it is. I'm in the olden days when we used to go to the movie theaters, I would go to the movies by myself or with myself. And many of my friends would be like, I can't go to the movies with myself. And I'm like, why not? Why not? So I love doing things with myself. It energizes me. It energizes me. So those things that energizes you has that feeling tone of joy. Has that feeling tone of joy. So I want to find that out from our guests. What do they do that brings them joy? And then the third one is, what is your joy song? What just does it for you? If you're feeling a little down, what lifts your spirit? And so we all have a joy song. And if you don't, go get yourself one because it will certainly shift the energy within you. So my joy song right now, because they change over time, my joy song right now is I Shall Not Be Moved by Kenny Boldian. It's an upbeat, it's like a house music gospel song. It is fabulous. So that gets me going. That gets me going, right? So that's the format of the show. And so if you're curious about how did this all come about, How did this even happen, Rev Melissa? So God is good, y'all. God is good. And I have shared through Morning Sip that my intention for 2020 was and still is to expand my territory. And we did a whole series on the prayer of Jabez, right? And the prayer of Jabez is about God blessing him and extending, enlarging, expanding his territory. And so that was my prayer. Now, I had no idea how that was going to happen. And I really wasn't concerned about how it was going to happen because what I know is that God takes care of the how. All the time, God is taking care of the how. So I just showed up, you know. It was the pandemic just kind of really got us all sheltering in place. We're moving into April. It seems like this is going to go on and on and on. There was no ending in sight, right? And I have been having these conversations with my soul brother, Sekou. And so one day he said to me, we was just talking about like what else we could be doing, you know, to get ourselves out of our comfort zones. Yes. And so I was like, okay, I have been thinking about, you know, maybe going on and doing a Facebook Live or something. Immediately he said, do it, do it. You need to do it, right? And I was like, ah. And then he said the magic words that would just about get me to do anything. He challenged me to do it. I dare you to do it, right? Okay, it's on now. It is on now. So April 6th, 2020, I got on Facebook Live and y'all, it was a FFT. And if you don't know what a FFT is, Brene Brown talks about FFTs pretty often. And so a FFT is the freaking first time. Freaking first time. And so that was my freaking first time. She uses another word, by the way. That was my freaking first time going live. And y'all, it was a hot mess. So I had the camera the wrong way, so I'm like sideways. I was like so nervous. It was ridiculous, right? I was on for maybe 4 minutes and 32 seconds, right? But I don't really remember. It's all foggy now, right? And when I got off, when it was over, I was so excited. Although it wasn't perfect, although it wasn't perfect, I was so excited, right? And so I told Sekou, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. So he was like, what, like every week? I was like, no, I'm going to do it every day. It was like every day. I said, yes, I'm going to do it every day. So my intention was to do it every day for as long as, you know, we're sheltering at home, which I didn't think we would still be doing till today, right? And who knows when it's going to open up, right? Who knows when it's going to open up? So I have been showing up, doing my morning sips every day except Saturdays throughout this process since April 6th. And then one day I get a message from someone I don't know. And I get messages every now and then from people I don't know. And some of them sounds like sales pitches, right? Like, you know, let me help you increase your platform. Let me, you know, different things of that nature. And I never respond to them. So on this particular day, I get a message and it says something along the lines of, let's talk about amplifying what you're doing. So I was like, huh. It just kind of like struck a chord with me, right? It felt like, right? It felt like that, oh, in the prayer of Jabez, oh, that you would bless me indeed. It didn't have the same feeling. I didn't get that intuitive hit that I got with the other ones, right? So I responded back. I said, yes, I would love to. And that person was Reverend Brez, who is the founder of New Thought Media Network. And so we had a wonderful conversation. He talked about expanding my territory, helping me to expand my territory through this platform. And here we are. Here we are, right? So I didn't know the how. I didn't know Reverend Brez. I I knew a little bit. I was familiar with the New Thought Media Network, right? But I had no idea, y'all. So my live and joy message to you is go ahead. It's okay. Go ahead and live your life in joy, just as it is. Do that thing that lights your fire, right? Do that thing that you've been thinking about doing, right? No matter what the circumstances. Look, we're in a pandemic, y'all. And so many people are expressing their gifts and expressing joy and everything that it is for them that they want to express in the world, right? So we talk about reframing, yes? Reframing this experience of COVID-19 as an opportunity to step out of our comfort zone, to step out of our normal, right? And shine our light in the world. And so that's what Tom Moore did, right? He shined his light in the world. He did what he could do and stretched himself a little bit. I think he stretched himself a lot, right? 100 laps with a walker over a period of time and raised over $40 million when his goal was only 1,000 pounds, and he inspired 1.5 million people to give. Oh, so it doesn't matter what it looks like right now. What matters is that you get involved with your life, that you get involved with that which is speaking to express through you. Because the life that we are living was intended to be lived in joy. That is 100% guaranteed. So let's step out. This is the platform to do so. I would love to hear your joy stories. So if you have a joy story, you could DM me. I would love to hear about it. Maybe you'll be an upcoming guest right here on the show, because I know there are millions and millions and millions of joy stories in the world. And we need to hear some of them. We need to hear more of them, I say. So this is day one. This is my FFT. I feel good. I feel excited. I feel grateful. And I feel ready, right? I feel ready for that which is unfolding. For that which is unfolding. So I am thrilled just to give you a little peek at next week's show. Just a little peek. Next week's show, and I just was like, who do I want to be my first guest? And I had like a running list. I had Denzel Washington, I had Viola Davis, I had my list, Lily Singh, Joe Shetty, and then I had Reverend Breeze. I said, oh yes, it has to be Reverend Breeze. Reverend Brez, I'm sorry, Reverend Brez. I started calling Reverend Brez Reverend Breeze, and sometimes I gotta get myself out of it. So Rev Brez is gonna be my first guest next week. Oh, and he's gonna share his joy story, because what vision does he have to start a whole network, y'all? The New Thought Media Network. Yes? He wasn't concerned about the how. I'm telling you right now. Now, I don't know that as a fact, but I know it as a fact. So we're going to hear about that next week. So please join me next Wednesday. It's a weekly show. I'm on for about a half an hour. Living life in joy. And I say we live life in joy because we are connected to our yes. We are connected to our yes. So there we have it. First show in the can, y'all. First show in the can, as they say in the business. Please join me. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to receive your joy stories. So what are we doing, y'all? We are living life in joy, connected, connected to our yes. Oh, yes, we are. See you next week.